Vulture City Mine ghost town. But look at the size of that. And not the generator, but the cactus.
We are right outside the town of Wickenburg in the Vulture Gold Mine. The mine became the most productive and influential mine in Arizona, producing 340,000 ounces of gold and 260,000 ounces of silver over its lifetime. That's quite a bit. Now, we are located in the Phoenix Valley, and this became a major center, a hub for agricultural needs. And it helped feed the miners and cater to the needs of all of the people who worked here, helping to spur development in this region. The grain route established to the Vulture and Phoenix later became Grand Avenue. Now, like most ghost towns and old mining communities, they were closed, shuttered during World War II as a way to conserve resources for the warfare. Vulture City was no exception, and it has been a ghost town ever since. Today, Vulture City is full of antiques and artifacts that were used in this ghost town. Now, this place is said to be overrun by the ghosts of long-forgotten miners who love to haunt the location and the tourists that visit.
See a few old antiques or relics laying on the ground. And an ore bucket. Nice old tin building there. I think what you call like a barrel cactus. And then, is it saguaro cactus? And then the choyas down below, you can see there. And then, of course, they have like a prickly pear style cactus here too. They're huge. Look at the size of that. Well, this is the gas station. There's an old gravity-fed pump, or what's left of one out here. Some old beverage signs there from Sundrop. You see the sign there, it says gas station right in front. It's full of antiques, fluid cans. Hey, skeleton hiding up there. If you're gonna do business, there's the desk for you right there. Hiding some old books up there. Look at this old guy here. There's the hood ornament right there. Got a little fuel can on the back. Carry the fuel around. Handrails here. The way that they use the water and pressure is the drill, shows there. Here's some of the old lanterns that they had here. Different types. That one looks like it dates back a little further than the others. I did a video before on the miner's lights. And there's an example of how it worked on the miner's caps. Now, this is the last house of the mine manager, Ernest Dickey. Now, this was built in the 1800s. And you can see that it is also surrounded by a tremendous amount of iron left over in the area with a giant hook. You can see over here some ornate metal. Well, that looks like a bunch of grapes. This place is just full of old antiques hanging on the porch. We haven't even gone inside yet. That phone's not that old. No shortage of bottles. A tremendous amount of old furniture. Haunted gazing mirror. I'm not going to gaze into it just in case. Just a menacing clown in the background. Now there's an older telephone for sure. The old crank on the side. And the ear set. And you speak into that. And just more old mining equipment. Looks like what they used to drop down in the mines for material and men to go down in the mines. This looks like it's the old blacksmith shop straight ahead of us. It's always nice to find skeletons of old automobiles, and man, this is no slouch. No idea what year that would be, or probably in the tea days, I guess. But look at that, that's the full body of it, just laying on the ground, rusting away. Constructed in 1890 to 1900. This was on the west incline. Looks like they moved it down here. And it looks like they would be able to forge steel and sharpen delivered quickly down to the mine, all the sharpened tools and accessories they needed for the mining. And they would repair the parts for the machine and equipment around the mine. And that is a big air compressor. Now, these look like old metal spools, buckets and things. There you go, more oil cans. Looks like an old press. An old furnace. Should say it's a forge. Right there, as you've taught me before, everybody in the videos when we look at the mining towns, that's a head frame. And there's still an ore car on it right there as they used to pull them up. But of course it's a dead giveaway as well because it says it's a head frame right here. And here's the blacksmith shop. It looks like this still works. You can see all the tools are still here. Donkeys or burros? Jack, Jenny, and Panito. Hope I said that right. Now this is Skip. This is the cage, the elevator cage used to haul ore carts, men and tools here in Vulture Mines. Now this is the Wells Fargo post office. Quite a deep well window here. Wells Fargo Post. Probably put their deposit bags in there, double door kind of a thing. But mostly known as a Wells Fargo office, and of course US mail would come through here as well. So this giant building here is the assayer's office. So the assay building was built in 1884. It's one of the most significant buildings on property. But again, the skeleton of an old vehicle. That looks like that might have been a space right back there for a rumble seat. Look at the porch. This is a very significant building. There's quite a few different rooms. Those windows are amazing. If you can see how rough construction the wood is on there. Now this is the smelting room. So what they would do is they would work around the clock, and what they would do is assess the quality of the ore right here in this building. So that way when they knew the quality of the ore, they knew what kind of a vein they were following, or if they were following the correct vein.
As we go through this amazing assayer's building, the biggest building on property, you have to remember that Vulture Gold Mine was very prosperous, but the miners led hard lives. The day-to-day grind outside the mines was very, very difficult. It was dark and dusty and dangerous. Plenty of fights and feuds followed the miners back into town. And once the mines closed, well, the miners went back to Vulture City to ease up for the next day. And when the saloons and brothels filled up, we get exactly the kind of rowdiness and Wild West activity that it's known for. Shootouts, murders, and, well, other things that aren't so mentionable were very common in Vulture City. Thieves were aplenty here in the mines. There was a tremendous amount of thieves that stole the ore. Some estimates say that up to a half of the ore mined from Vulture was stole by high graders. Since everybody stole from the mine, stealing was punishable by death. This town never had an official lawman, so punishment was dished out vigilante style. The hanging tree was just outside of Henry Wickenburg's old home, and it was used to hang high graders who got caught. 18 men were hung on the hanging tree, right here in Vulture. It was said that men who were hung took hours to die and were left to rot in the hot sun until they were buried near the tree. This assayer building was, well, where the gold was assessed and the quality appraised that we talked about. It was also where they kept the gold. The building was the scene of quite a few shootouts, as bandits, of course, thieves, attempted to rob the precious gold bullion under the building.
So this is the bullion storage room, a vault underground, gold and silver bars stored here before being shipped out. So this was like a giant safe, right? This had to be kept really safe. And at one point, I was told that they actually had the military came in here to protect it because everybody was so greedy and corrupt about stealing the gold. And then they said the military was just as corrupt when they came in. Now this is the old hanging tree. Now many people were hung here.
And it is said that the ghosts of these men, the high graders, who were punished by death, are still seen around the mines. The hanging tree is said to have been the burial site of dozens of these men who were condemned after being caught red-handed here in Vulture. 18 men were hung from the hanging tree, but it is not known if they were all buried there. Either way, many tourists claim to have been harassed by the ghosts of the dead thieves. Now this old hanging tree looks haunted. You can tell by these eerie pictures. But is it? You'll just have to find out for yourself.
Whew. Okay, 18 men. That is an amazing piece of iron. I believe that is Henry Wickenburg we just looked at in that photograph.
Vulture City Ghost Town is an amazing location. The buildings have been, of course, rebuilt, some of them, and a lot of the buildings have been moved. But the old assayer's office is still there and standing strong. That was an amazing building. We hope you enjoyed this adventure to Vulture City. And until the next adventure, goodbye from Weekend Escapades, and we'll see you in the next one. We're just going to browse through old Henry Wickenburg's cabin.
You can see up here, there's a placard that says this was Henry Wickenburg's first house in 1864, built right out front of the hanging tree.